Okay, so tomorrow is moving day. So I don't have a ton of time to work on things. And also it's 5K training day too. So we got a lot of stuff to do. We're just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna try to get my run over with. It's 8 in the morning. I don't work today, so I'm doing it a little bit later than normal. I'm being lazy. I took off work to finish packing for my move. But I kind of wish I had just done the run at the normal time. So, because now I'm lazy and I probably could use a second energy drink. But we're not going to do that. We already drank a tropical vibe. So no more vibes for me, at least for several hours. And then besides that, I read a little bit on point shadows. So that's the way shadows are currently implemented in my engine is that it only works for directional lights. So like any point lights, it won't be able to do, it won't be able to calculate that accurately. The reason is directional lights just have a single direction. So you can do a single texture depth map, or depth map texture. But for point lights, the lights go in all directions. So you actually need to use a cube map. I may or may not implement that right now. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens in this video. But for now, we gotta go run. So the warm-up is actually running for the first time. So we'll see how I survive. But not too bad. Okay, the warm-up was a half a kilometer. Wasn't too bad. And then there's 2 intervals of 1 kilometer. I think I can do this. Just gotta repeat that 4 more times. We got them. Okay, I didn't film the run because I had to lock in, but we're done. First kilometer wasn't bad. Second one was bad, but not so bad that I felt like quitting, but I did feel like throwing up for a little bit, but I'd rather throw up than quit. All right, I think I've earned a matcha. So I'm walking to a coffee shop, contribute to that matcha shortage. Fuck you mean, bitch. Okay, so I'm actually going on a trip for work. Going to Stamford, Connecticut. It's gonna be so fun. I'm not being forced to do this at all. But yeah, I'm gonna vlog that. I'll update you guys, and hopefully I have time to work on some of the gaming and outside of corporate mandated fun. But let's do this. So this is me pre-sky. In the next clip, well, the next clip, I'm gonna be in the sky. So yeah, this is just a little clip from takeoff, heading to Stamford, Connecticut for work. To be honest, I was not super looking forward to this. I don't always like to travel for work, but it ended up being fun, actually. It was nice to see some of my coworkers. Because usually I don't really see anyone because I work from home. So this is actually kind of nice, and then getting to travel for free is always a perk. It's one of the nice things about, working for a company that actually makes money as opposed to a startup like in the past. In my past. Isn't it crazy that we can just be up in the sky? Like, I feel like we take this for granted. It's kind of ridiculous. Like these shots, watching this back, it doesn't look real. But maybe I'm just being too much of a, I don't know. Oh my God, look, isn't life amazing? Boy, but it kind of is amazing. I don't know. So yeah, I flew into New York. It was actually funny. So our event was for the mobile developers, and I thought it was gonna all be in Stamford, Connecticut. So when I landed in New York, I took a lift all the way to Stamford, Connecticut, but then realized the first day was actually in New York. So I had to take a lift all the way back to New York. So the traveling, honestly was not super smooth for me, but you know, I got there. And then, when there we did like some mobile dev activities. We talked about testing different stuff. And then we went to a go-kart / arcade place, and I actually, on the punching machine, I had the second hardest punch of all the developers. I know that's not saying much, but the guy who had the most actually was an actual amateur boxer.
Okay, I'm in Stamford, Connecticut.
I'm pretty proud about that. I came close to him.
Snafu when I was traveling. I didn't realize we were actually in our New York office, so when I landed in New York, took a lift all the way to Stamford, and then I had to take a lift back. And then after our meetings, take a lift back to Stamford. The rest of it's in Stamford, so we're good. Right now, just getting in a late hot girl walk to go to Walgreens to pick up a few things that I forgot to pack. So, and also on the plane, I actually worked on point shadows, so basically the same thing as the directional shadows, but using a cube map so you can actually render them from any direction. So I will show that once that's completed. I don't know if I have the stuff to film myself coding in the hotel room, but if I do, and if I have the energy to do it, I will. Anyway, let's get in. Oh yeah, also I have 5K training in a new city tomorrow. Isn't that exciting? So I forgot to buy Celsius at Walgreens, but luckily there was a gas station across the street with a giant ass Celsius sign. It was like a bad signal or like the light of God. So I got my Celsius.
Yeah, this clip is me on my jog for 5K training. And I actually jogged past the WWE headquarters. Look at this giant ass ridiculous belt. And this is actually the where they filmed Maury back in the day. Okay, and now these are just clips of me heading back to Chicago. This is actually after a 3.5 hour delay due to rain. So at this point I was very miserable, but I finished my audiobook. I was listening to Raw Dog, book about hot dogs, which I hated because they shit all over Chicago style hot dogs. They called them salads, and I have a tattoo of a Chicago style hot dog, so I don't play that shit. But anyway, yeah, I'm back in Chicago.
Back on my bullshit, running with my friend Julius. He just ran around the field, so he's resting, but I feel like dying. This is horrible. Oh God, this is the longest or the hardest run yet. It was a kilometer warming up, then 5 intervals of 200 meters running at a fast pace. So like cut my pace down by like 40%, and then another kilometer, cool down. That's what I'm doing right now. I feel like dying. Won't quit, but I can't, and I won't. Can't stop, won't stop. You got this. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That was my friend Julius pushing the sled. We actually have a sled in my new building gym, which is pretty sick. The only thing that's not sick about this gym is the really dog shit lighting. So probably won't film here a ton, but you know, gotta deal with what you gotta deal with. Yeah, here I'm just doing some RDLs, fairly lightweight. I think this is only like 45 pounds. I'm trying to build my strength up, because I am focusing on like cardio and boxing. But in the next video, you'll see I'm getting back to powerlifting, and my strength is way down. You will see soon, which is something I expected. But I actually got some bad news from my foot doctor. that I can't run for 2 weeks, so I'm actually going to be focusing more on powerlifting. Here I'm doing some thrusters with terrible form. Yeah, I suck at front squats, and I'm not getting good depth, but you know, this is more kind of a conditioning style exercise. As you can see, I'm struggling my A off, but you know, I'm getting through it. Yeah, those were very difficult towards the end. And then lastly, here's a clip of me pulling and pushing the sled. This is a different day than when I was filming Julius. All of this stuff is a different day. But yeah, as you can see, I'm struggling mightily to pull it. It's so much harder to pull it than it is to push it. Sorry for the ass shot though. That is probably a little violent. Oh my God. Damn, boy, you thick. Sorry. But yeah, I actually did like two reps with quick break in between. I did that twice, and it was quite difficult. I did not like doing it, but you got to do things that are hard, as I always say. Yeah, it is This is a great workout, especially going backwards. I got this from the knees over toes guy. It kind of hits the same muscles as your squat when you're pulling it, apparently. And I've noticed a lot more like power and like strength in my legs since I've started doing it. And now that there's one in my building gym, I can do this very consistently, which is exciting. New apartment gym. It's quite lit, not gonna lie. Even got a boxing ring. And we got the sled that's doing evil to me. And lastly, I just finished off with some kettlebell swings to get a little bit of extra effort in the legs, and then a little bit of cardio. I didn't do a good job filming this. I'm literally the worst absolute spot to stay in filming this. But you can take my word for it that I was doing kettlebell swings. I would not lie to you. Anyway, that was the end of this workout. Yeah, okay, back to computer, Maddie. It's very early. That's why I look like shit. So let's be very quiet. Okay, woke everybody up. I got Celsius on my screen. Okay. Anyway, oh god, I just moved my camera because my computer's a touchscreen. Anyway, new apartment, new shot. Look at that. We got the ThinkPad logo here, so you know that I'm legit hacker man with Linux on their ThinkPad. That's me. And okay, so what I've been working on lately is what I've been working on is point shadows, as you can see. On my Git branch. So point shadows are basically similar to the directional shadows that I implemented before, but these can be from any, they can come from any point, and they cast light in all directions. So use a cube map for the depth information instead of a what's the other kind of map? Just a regular a 2D texture. Yeah. So, I'm just gonna go over what I've done so far. So let's open up. So let's see. Okay, first of all, I added another path to the shader creation function for a geometry shader. So we actually use a geometry shader instead of just the normal vertex and fragment shader for point shadows. So I just added a new path, and then I changed that code to check if the geometry path is nil. Null. I mean, if it's a null pointer, then we skip over this. If it is not a null pointer, we'll include it. We'll compile it and attach it. And then I added those shaders here for each one. For getting that depth texture. So I just named them Shadow Cube, and then had a fragment shader, a geometry shader, and a vertex shader. And then in the game scene, I added that new shader. I added a function to set up that depth texture, that cube map, and then I created one for rendering it. So we had that render pass before, similar to before, except you have to pass it 6 different projection matrices. So for each different shadow path, and also you're gonna pass in perspective matrices instead of orthogonal ones for a point shadow. So I'm trying to implement both in my scene. So implement the regular shadow for the directional light, and then for any point lights, have a pass for each one. I'm guessing this is not the most efficient way to do this. We'll probably want to defer the rendering of this stuff until the end, aka deferred rendering, but I have not reached that part of the book. So, yeah. Okay. So let's see. My CPU workload on this laptop is higher than normal, so hopefully the recording works and there's no like weird nonsense going on. But if there is, you won't see this. Let's see. Syntax error in shadow cube fragment. Okay. So yeah, I forgot to say I didn't finish it, so that's what I'm doing right now. I actually did not. I actually didn't. Oh yeah, I was working on this on my computer. That's not it. Right. Wait, actually, I think I did push. All right. So we did that. I believe there's one. Okay. 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 While I'm here, I can go over the geometry shader a little bit. So basically, what's going on is taking in triangles and then returning a triangle strip with a maximum of 18 vertices. Takes those 6 shadow matrices and it loops through them, and for each one, it emits a new vertex and then creates a primitive at the end of each face, and that's how we render that those 6 cube depth maps in one pass, basically. I have 5K training today too, which I had to get done with in the next 2 hours. So hopefully this doesn't take too long. I'm gonna I'm like most of the way there, I believe. I don't remember where I was. So we have, this is from the direction. I have the code for what's it called? For point lights commented out at the moment. And I don't think I'm passing any point lights. So yeah. I gotta plug in my iPad. Okay, so basically I gotta look at this code on opengl.com. Fuck that was. Okay. Learn opengl.com. Let us see. Little see. What do I have to add? What do I have to add? Okay, so yeah, so let me go to game scene. I am rendering. Oh, I don't think I'm actually calling that rendering. So that's how I need to. So first of all, I have to set done that already. So let's do cube map. To and render scene. Oh, it's not auto. Probably declare it. sorry about the Discord boops. If you can hear that. Alright, let's see. So, where do we want this light to be in the sun? Okay, in the example, they just have it at the origin. I feel like that will not work in my scene, obviously. So, what am I setting up? I think I have like a separate. So I need okay, we'll just leave this that one. And then I will need to uncomment this. Oh, okay, so I only have one. Okay, yeah. So I want to put this blue for each. Okay, so we actually want to do it. Oh, how you like them apples? It's too damn early. Too damn early for me to be doing a really bad Australian accent. Okay, so what we're doing was looping through. I don't know where to point. We're looping through. I'm gonna point at my monitor. The P-light positions for each one, we're gonna render a depth cube map. Currently, there's only one, but in the future, that could get expensive, so you gotta keep an eye on that. I got my eye, brother. So we're rendering that cube map. Now we need to actually change the shader so that we're actually using that stuff. So we actually have to pass this depth cube map to that. There's a lot of refactoring I need to do because this will not actually support more than one position or more than one point light. So in practice, this is not doing anything. It will only render the last one, if I'm being honest. So I need like an array of depth cube maps.
errors. No errors. Oh, wait. Yeah. That's because okay. Okay. We're making progress, I think. So from here, I believe that I don't believe anything. I need to look at this. Okay, so nothing really going on for a text shader. Yeah, most of this stuff is happening in the fragment shader. So, okay, so we need to pass in the cube map to the fragment shader. So first, I'm gonna actually take a look at my fragment shader. I mean, at this point, we have Jesus Christ. Okay, so we have this happening here. Okay, so I want to have a second shadow. So we're gonna say we call this mirror shadow. And then we're gonna pass that in here. Then we're gonna flip point shadow. Jesus Christ. All right. Point shadow. Then we're gonna have another. And then we're gonna pass point shadow. Okay, so good start. So we need to have a pass it in cube shadow map. So we say layout, location.
Okay, yeah. All this means is the this position of fragments. So okay, so we have our frag and position. And desk space is at a premium. I'll just say that right now. Okay. Alright, cool. This is better. Alright. Got my iPad set up here in front of me. Okay, so we're gonna do this this doggone shadow calculation. So we gotta say M3. Okay, so this is the okay, it's vector between the fragment and the light. So and then we're gonna get the closest. Okay. Closest depth will just be a texture from that. And then we're gonna multiply it by the far. I think I'm gonna have to play with the far plane because it's different for the directional shadows. And the point shadows. At least in the examples. But I'm just gonna actually leave it. And then we get our bias. I can't remember if I'm already sending that that cube map to the shader. Let me check. Oh, I am. Wait. No, I'm not. I'm setting it as active, but I haven't seen it. Oh, here it goes. Let's actually see what happens. Why tons of errors. Cube map. Cube map. Stupid. And I'm misspelling things. Stupid. Lord. Toy. Alright, let's see. Maybe if I like red. There. Takes more than one hand. Go slightly faster. Oh, yeah. They're combining now. Not exactly what I expected. I think it's because the far plane is not. Alright. Source. Not correct, but the show is different. Okay. Alright. Or a different problem, not something here. Okay, so I finished my Celsius. And I need to run. I think I'm gonna work on this a little bit off camera, and I will update you guys probably post. Okay, so I continued to work on the point shadows offline, but this video is getting too long, so I'm actually just filming an outro. I will continue work on those next video. I'm close to getting them working, but I'm still getting like weird artifacts with it, so I'm gonna continue to troubleshoot. And I haven't put out a video in a while because I was moving and then I had to travel for work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this one out. Thank you so much for watching as usual. I will be back, and hopefully the next video will be the last video where I'm talking about shadows. I'm so tired of shadows. I know you are too. So we're gonna do some more interesting stuff. And I don't know, at some point. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.